Hello and welcome to this book tag. I'm going to be doing the Harry Potter spells tag. I wasn't tagged for this, but it sounded fun, so I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm gonna leave the link to the original video down below. I don't remember who did it, but I'll leave it down below so you can go check that out as well. Question number 1 is Expecto Patronum, a childhood book connected with good memories, and I'm gonna go with The Evergreen Wood by Ellen and Linda Perry. And this was a book that my mom read to me and my sisters when we were younger, and I just really love it. I reread it last year, I think, just out of nowhere because we just started talking about it, and it's just so good. Yeah, it's just amazing. So if you haven't read this book, it's a very short read. I feel like it's like 50 pages or something. 63 pages. So it's nothing, and it's big text and a lot of great pictures and has a great message. So please go and read this book because it's just amazing. Question number 2, Expelliarmus, a book that took you by surprise. And I'm gonna go with Cockling by Jordan Elizabeth with this one. I didn't really expect much from it, hearing the premise. But I was just like, okay, I'm getting this book for free, I'm gonna give it a chance, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's about Edna, who figures out that her brother has been kidnapped and replaced with a cockling. And she has to figure out what happened to her brother, and along the way she gets help from Ike, and they have to figure out why these witches, they figure out that it's witches who's kidnapped him, why they've kidnapped him and what they plan to do with him, and they want to rescue him. And I really enjoyed it. It's steampunk, and it's just, yeah, it was very good, and I can really recommend it. And yeah, just look at the cover. I'm gonna insert a picture here because I don't have a physical book, but the cover is so pretty, and yeah, I think I'm gonna have to buy a physical copy as well because it's just gorgeous. Question number 3, Prior Incantato, the last book you read, and the last book I finished is Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell, and I really enjoyed this book. If you haven't read anything Rainbow Rowell, what are you doing with your life? Go read some Rainbow Rowell. She is great. And Eleanor Park is about Eleanor and Park, obviously, and Eleanor is quite different, and so is Park. Park is more accepted, but Eleanor is the new girl, and people make fun of her, and they end up sitting together on the bus and start talking and developing this friendship and relationship. And there are a lot of problems in her family, and this is kind of a coming of age story and finding love story, and it's just very good. Question number 4, Alohamora, a book that introduced you to a genre that you hadn't considered before. And I'm gonna go with The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare because this is steampunk, and I hadn't considered steampunk. I didn't really know what steampunk was when I started reading this. I read some of the Mortal Instruments books, and I needed to read these before reading the conclusion to the Mortal Instruments, so I started reading these to not get spoiled. And I hadn't considered steampunk before, but yeah, this is steampunk, and I really enjoyed it. This has become my favorite trilogy of all times, and if you haven't read it, please read it because this is just so amazing. And yeah, I really enjoy steampunk. I figured that out, so I'm hopefully gonna pick up some more steampunk, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Question number 5, Riddikulus, a funny book you read, and I'm gonna go with Spotless by Camilla Monk for this one. This is hilarious. I laughed out loud several times throughout this book, and I just really love it so much. This is gonna be I think it's called quadrilogy? I'm not sure if that's even a word. But there are gonna be 4 books in this series. This is the first one, and I also read Beating Ruby, which is the second one. And ooh, what's the third one called? It's not come out yet. I think it's coming out later this year, but I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I really enjoyed this book. It's so funny, and there are action and a bit of romance and humor. And if you like dark humor, like really dark humor and sarcasm, you will absolutely love this book, and yeah, I couldn't recommend it more. Question number 6, Sonorus, a book you think everyone should know about, and I'm gonna go with some books that I've already mentioned in this video, and yeah, The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, or Harry Potter for that matter, but I think everyone knows Harry Potter, so I'm gonna go with The Infernal Devices, and maybe also Spotless because that is amazing as well, and that is well known. So yeah, Spotless by Camilla Monk, and The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. Question number 7. Obliviate, a book or spoiler you would like to forget having read. And for the book, I'm gonna go with Wormwood by G.P. Taylor. I expected so much from this book because I've heard it's so great, and I was so disappointed, and yeah, I wish I could just forget this because I felt like it was very bad. Some people might love it, but I really didn't like it at all. And for the spoiler, I'm gonna go with Allegiant because I was spoiled for the ending before I even picked up the series, and yeah, I would have liked to forget that I knew about that before going into the series. So spoiler for Allegiant, but I think you had to be lucky to not be spoiled for Allegiant. But yeah, I would have liked to go into the series without knowing that. Question 8. Imperio, a book you had to read for school, and I'm gonna go with Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. I really enjoyed this book. I don't remember when I read it. I think I was around 12 maybe, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, of course we read it in Danish, but I really want to read some more Jules Verne's, and yeah, read it in English. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And some of the books we read in school I was like meh about. Well, actually most of them I was meh about. But I really enjoyed Around the World in 80 Days. So yeah, I'm definitely at some point in my life gonna pick up some more Jules Verne and read, yeah, more by him. Question 9. Crucio, a book that was painful to read. And I'm gonna go with a trilogy for this one. I'm gonna go with The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. And I didn't like this series. I was so disappointed. I heard so many great things, and how it was so relatable and so funny and blah blah, and I was just really disappointed. And yeah, that is definitely a book that was painful to read. Well, a series that was painful to read. I don't know why I continued, because I could have just stopped and DNF'd it, but I didn't. I read it through, and yeah, that it was kind of painful. So sorry if you love that series. And finally, question 10, Avada Kedavra, a book that could kill. And it says interpret as you will, so I interpret it to be Harry Potter Page to Screen by Bob McCabe, because this book is ginormous, and if you hit someone in the head with this, they could probably die from it. And yeah, I'm interpreting it as this one. If it had to be like I'm dying on the inside, then perhaps the conclusion to The Mortal Instruments or The Infernal Devices, because that could kill too, but I'm interpreting as this is so big that you could kill someone with it. So yeah. So those were my answers to the Harry Potter spells tag. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye.